He just said, what are you guys busy with? Give us what you are busy with, we will tell the public what we are busy with. That was where the shift happened, right? So we have an absolutely significant role. But importantly, when we now know that Facebook, is the second most largest social media platform, but when you look at the Facebook accounts of many government departments, you look at Twitter, they update regularly. But when you go to Facebook, chalk and cheese, right? Yeah. But also those who are doing it, you can see that they've taken the copy that was meant for Twitter or X to be there on Facebook, right? You literally have a space for about 4,000 characters. We've had, and by the way, one of the things that we do as at Decode is we run social media training, right? And we've had a chat with, for instance, we were in the room with health communicators in Gauteng. Before we spoke to them, we've done a dipstick, and we were saying, so Ga-Rankuwa, Dr. George Mukhari Hospital is in Ga-Rankuwa, where majority of the people, if you just go on Google, majority of the people that live in that locale speak Setswana, right? People ask questions in Setswana on their Facebook platform, but they always respond in English, right? And I guess it's there again. Somebody in fact raised the issue around translations yesterday, right? The issue around how do we think about communications in such a way that it lands, because the platforms are there, but their utility is what is going to flip. Rance Mabote, the executive director at Decode Communications, is coming up with the next panel, and we are talking digital. We're reflecting on digital skills, and on the panel is Dr. Lakela Kaunda, who is at the National School of Government, and we also have Mavimbela, who is at the GCIS, and not South. We thought that it was important for her to be here because as a PR is self-regulated in South Africa. But we had the Bell Potija moment, which was a digital media problem, an issue, right? And as a regulator, they will share a few insights. Take it away.
Good morning to everyone in the room, and a special good morning to the panelists. Quite an honor to be speaking to the three of you, not only because you are experts in the subject, but because you are top government communicators, by the way. You should have been properly introduced, but not only head of press, you are also in government communication. Okay. And then just, it is the most awkward thing to be asked to facilitate. The program director steals the thunder by saying what he would have said when you want to start this conversation, and therefore I ask myself, how do I start this conversation? I wanted to speak about those things, right? But it's okay. I'm in broadcasting, and we learn how to maneuver ourselves when things go wrong. Sometimes the auto cue doesn't work. I don't think you guys have a clue. You will always hear stuff like the biggest followed and most amazing at least accounts on Twitter is something called the NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, with 8.1 million followers. Its most news-generating departments was the unsexiest, called the Department of Water Affairs and Forests. Right? They made news more than a lot of other departments that were supposedly more exciting. But they got to get us talking about water and forests. Like, who cared? But we did. We did. And that's what NASA has done. They have gathered 8.1 million followers on Twitter. There's something that they do that's special. And I hope that by the end of this conversation, we're going to think about special things to do so that we grow our communication through social media. Because we can grow it, we should grow it. It is a tool in our hands. Yeah. Now, normally when panels sit to talk, we start with everyone making an opening salvo and boring us. We're not going to do that. We're going to go straight to questions so that I can also get everybody involved much earlier. But as we all get involved, both panelists and everybody in the room, I'm going to ask you to speak up. In spite of the fact that the sound system is good, it needs our voices. So please project. To some of us, we are taught to do that every day in our jobs, so it's not much of a problem, even though our voices are not good for radio. Anyway, that's not the point in food. So I'm going to call you Rakumudi if you allow me to do so. And I thought this question is very important in the space of internet and digital communication. Here and all over the world, I just spoke about NASA now, right? Is government communication on par, or is it lagging behind? If yes, please explain how it is on par. If not, why do you think it's not on par?
Thank you very much, Rams, and thank you to everyone for giving me this opportunity. I mean, right now you cited an example of NASA, which is also a government department of the U.S. administration, and they only have 8.1 million followers. The U.S. has about 150 million citizens. And yes, thanks for correcting me. So if you think about it, that's just a fraction of the population. So we have the same issue in South Africa, where we have the fraction of the population only following us on social media platforms. So, you know, with social media, you have people who will actually click on that page or follow, or someone who just looks at your post, but you don't follow, especially on platforms like YouTube. So you can now understand how many of South Africans we miss if we were only to rely on